Have you ever wondered why sometimes your prayers feel powerful and alive, and other times, they feel empty, like your words are just bouncing off the ceiling? If you've ever felt that, you're not alone. But there's something deeper. Because prayer isn't just talking to God, it's a journey. A journey with 5 levels, each one taking you closer, deeper, and more intimate with His presence. And when the Holy Spirit begins to lead you through these levels, your entire relationship with God changes forever. Let's go on this journey together. Let's explore the 5 levels of prayer that take you deeper with God. The first level of prayer is where most of us start, the prayer of asking. It's the moment when we reach out to God because we need something. Maybe it's healing. Maybe it's help in trouble. Maybe it's forgiveness after failure. This is where you first learn that God hears you. It's where your faith begins to breathe. Jesus said in Matthew 7 verse 7, "Ask, and it shall be given to you." At this level, God shows you that He is a Father, a provider, a listener, a friend. But if you stay only at this level, your prayers will always depend on your needs, and your relationship with God will be built only on what He can do for you, not on who He is to you. So God calls you higher. He whispers, "Come closer. Let's go deeper." The second level is the prayer of seeking. Here, something changes inside you. You're no longer just asking for blessings, now you're seeking the blesser. Psalm 27 verse 8 says, "When you said, 'Seek my face,' my heart said to you, 'Your face, Lord, I will seek.'" At this level, prayer becomes less about your words and more about your heart posture. You start to feel a hunger for His presence. You crave those quiet moments with God more than anything else. You begin to see that peace doesn't come from answered prayers, it comes from being near Him. As you seek Him, He begins to reveal Himself to you in ways you never imagined. You begin to recognize His voice in your spirit. You start to feel His presence fill the room as you pray. This is where the Holy Spirit starts teaching you not just how to talk to God, but how to hear God. Then comes the third level, the prayer of surrender. This is where prayer stops being comfortable, because here, God asks for something greater, He asks for you. You realize that prayer is no longer about getting your way, it's about giving Him His way. In the Garden of Gethsemane, Jesus prayed, "Father, not my will, but yours be done." That's the sound of surrender. And in that surrender, something powerful happens. You stop fighting God's plan and start trusting His heart. Sometimes this level feels like silence. Sometimes it feels like loss. But every tear, every unanswered prayer, every waiting season, it's all shaping your spirit. The Holy Spirit begins to refine you, to break pride, fear, and control, until you can finally say, "Lord, I trust you, even when I don't understand you." When you reach that place, your prayer becomes pure worship. Now you reach the fourth level, the prayer of communion. This is not just prayer, this is oneness. It's what Paul meant when he said, "Pray without ceasing." Because here, prayer is no longer something you do, it's who you are. The Holy Spirit begins to breathe through you. You talk with God not only in words, but in silence, in thoughts, in the rhythm of your heart. You begin to live in constant awareness of His presence. You sense Him when you walk, when you work, when you rest. Suddenly, everything becomes sacred. Your words, your actions, your breath, all become worship. This is the level where miracles begin to flow naturally. Not because you chase them, but because you're connected to the One who does them. It's no longer you praying to God, it's God praying through you. And finally, the fifth level, the prayer of intercession. This is the highest level of prayer, where you become a vessel for God's heart. Your prayers are no longer about you, but about others. The Holy Spirit begins to share His burdens with you, for families, for nations, for souls who don't know Him yet. Romans 8 verse 26 says, "The Spirit Himself intercedes for us with groanings too deep for words." This is not emotional crying, this is spiritual travail. It's the moment when heaven and earth meet through your voice. When your spirit joins the Holy Spirit in carrying God's will to the world. At this level, prayer becomes power. Your words begin to move mountains. Chains break. People are healed. Souls are saved. Because now, you've become a true intercessor, a partner with God. You pray His will, not your will. You release heaven's authority on earth. Each level builds upon the other. Asking brings you to faith. Seeking brings you to intimacy. Surrender brings you to trust. Communion brings you to unity. And intercession brings you to divine purpose. This is the full journey of prayer, from the outer courts to the Holy of Holies. From God, help me, to God, use me. And through it all, the Holy Spirit walks beside you, teaching you, transforming you, and leading you deeper. Because prayer isn't a formula. It's a relationship. And every time you pray, heaven listens. So wherever you are right now, if your prayers feel weak, don't give up. If your heart feels distant, keep seeking. God is drawing you closer, step by step, level by level, until your life becomes a living prayer.